You have lost count of how many time travelers have come to kill you. You don't know why they came, and at this point you don't care. You will become what they fear simply out of spite. When the first one came for my life, I was surprised to say the least. I want to say he looked like a Terminator, but he was just a guy. No one had looked at me with such unadulterated contempt and hate before. Not even my ex. You will not live long, scum. He screamed as the police dragged him. You will pay for what you did to us. What you did to humanity. I stared at him baffled. I had absolutely no idea. At first I thought he must have escaped from the asylum. Maybe this was a psychotic episode. I actually felt bad for the man. It wasn't until the second one arrived a week later that the suspicion started to take root in my mind. She was a beautiful woman. I knew I had no chance with, and yet when she smiled coyly at me, I couldn't help myself. I went to talk to her. That's when she took out the knife. A good Samaritan just happened to walk past and disarmed her. She too screamed when the police came. You think you have a blessed life? You are nothing but a curse. You are a blot on humanity. I was now getting concerned. Maybe I was something despicable. 2 people had tried to kill me in 2 weeks. They must have a reason. I did not possess any significant money, nor did I have information about the state's affairs. Then it must be me. And isn't that the thought that starts to destroy you? Like rust on iron, it grows and grows until it covers the whole structure, and one day the structure gives up, collapses. I just hoped I don't collapse. I may not have people who depend on me, but I also didn't want to be destroyed. I started seeing a therapist after the third one. This one was just a boy. It broke my heart when they had wrenched his screaming body away from me. He did get a shot in. My arm was bleeding, knife was embedded deep in my bicep. But there was a numbness spreading inside me. I must be a truly awful person if a boy, who was no older than 15, wanted to kill me. Something inside me broke that day. I knew I needed help. And if I didn't get it, the collateral damage would be too large. Sir, we think there's a bounty on your head. Detective Conan said. Who? I asked. My voice was hoarse because of disuse. I had stopped leaving my house. The only place I went to was my therapist's. I had taken a mental health leave from my work. We don't know. Detective Conan said, looking slightly ashamed. I nod. I understood his position. It was not an easy job. They needed concrete evidence, and I didn't think that my attackers were cooperating. Can I talk to them? I asked calmly. I just needed a reason. Was it truly me? If it was, maybe I could change myself. He looked uncertain, then nodded. Sure. Why do you want to kill me? I looked at each of them. I needed to see the truth in their eyes. I needed to see the hate in their eyes. A barrage of insults flew at me. Bastard, scum, monster, devil, a few more, but I stopped listening. My therapist said to distance myself from toxicity, but I needed the truth. What I didn't need was unnecessary curses. Who sent you? I asked calmly. The boy laughed. No one sent us. We are here because we know you. The true you. My self-doubt was rising again, but I didn't let it take over me. I knew me. I tried to do the right thing, always have, always will. I didn't deserve this. Who? My voice had an edge to it now, and maybe they could tell because their faces changed. A little fear had started to seep into their features. We are not from here. The woman snarled. We are from the time where you destroy everything. Time travel, I laughed out loud. You all. We don't want to talk to this man anymore, officer. The man said. And then I was left, in the too hard chair, staring at the space my 3 attackers had occupied. Maybe they were telling the truth. And if they were, then I must turn something evil in the future. That darkness once again started to creep on me, and this time I let it. I didn't even try to stop the next attacker. I was ready to embrace the darkness. Why wouldn't I? It had already taken over me. Every good thought I had was now turned against me. All I had were thoughts about how one day I will someday turn so evil that people will jump through time to kill me. So, I let them. But fate had other plans, because they shot at an innocent woman. Her only mistake was that she was standing beside me. After weeks of darkness, I saw a light. A red light of fury filled my being as I screamed and threw myself at my attacker. That was the last day I counted my attackers. Because that was the last day I doubted myself. I knew I was not the one who turned evil. Whatever I become from this time forward is because I chose me instead of the version of me they thought me to be. From that day I decided to become something more than a victim. I chose to become a fighter. A survivor.